Welcome to The Explainer. So how does a guy from Omaha, Nebraska end up becoming one of the richest people on the entire planet? Well, I can tell you it wasn't by chasing the latest hot stock tip. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on Warren Buffett's legendary investment strategy.
Okay, look at this number right here, 22.2%. That right there is the secret ingredient, It's the compounded annual gain Berkshire Hathaway has seen since 1964. It's what turned a guy from Omaha into the Oracle.
Everyone loves Buffett's folksy wisdom, right? Rule number 1, never lose money. But don't get it twisted. Behind every one of those simple quotes is an absolutely rock-solid, disciplined strategy. This isn't just a cute saying. It's literally the foundation of his entire worldview.
So, that's the big question, isn't it? How does he actually do it? All right, let's dive in. We're going to break down the core principles that have guided him for, more than half a century now?
And here's the thing you have to understand. Buffett's genius. It didn't just appear out of nowhere. He was actually standing on the shoulders of giants. He took two very different, almost opposite philosophies and blended them together to create something brand new. So on one side, you had his professor, Ben Graham. He was the ultimate numbers guy. He taught Buffett to look for what he called cigar butts, stocks that were so cheap they had one good puff left in them. But then, on the other side, you had Phil Fisher. Fisher was all about the quality, the bigger picture. He taught Buffett to hunt for those rare, incredible companies you could buy and just hold on to forever.
Okay, and this is where it all comes together. This is the magic. Buffett took Graham's obsession with a cheap price and combined it with Fisher's eye for a great business, and he created this incredibly powerful three-part framework. It's the filter he runs everything through.
Yeah, before even thinking about putting $1 into a company, he runs it through this gauntlet, this three-part test, and a company has to pass every single stage, no exceptions. So let's see what those are.
First up, the business itself. And this is pure Phil Fisher, right? Is it simple? Can I actually understand how it makes money? Does it have a long, consistent track record? And here's the big one. Does it have what he calls a moat? Some kind of durable competitive advantage that keeps the competition at bay.
Okay, next, he looks at the people running the show. Because Buffett knows a fantastic business can be absolutely destroyed by bad managers. So he's looking for a few key things. Are they rational? Do they admit when they screw up? And, maybe most importantly, do they resist that urge to just mindlessly copy whatever their competitors are doing?
And then, finally, we get to the price. This is where you really see Ben Graham's influence. Buffett figures out what a business is actually worth, its intrinsic value, and then he insists on buying it for way less than that. It's like, if something is worth $1, he wants to buy it for 60 cents. That 40-cent gap, that's his margin of safety. It's his cushion if he's wrong about something.
All right, so now we've got the pillars, right? It's this mix of Fisher's quality check and Graham's price discipline. But how does that translate into an actual portfolio? Let's take a look.
That whole idea of a franchise or a moat, think of it like a company's superpower. It's what lets them raise prices without losing all their customers. It's that unbreachable wall that keeps the bad guys, the competition, locked out of the castle. Coca-Cola is the absolute perfect example of this. Think about it. It's a super simple product, right? But its brand is known everywhere on the planet. You just can't replicate that. So for Buffett, back in 1988 when he first bought it, it checked every single box. It was a total no-brainer. And when you have a filter this strict, it leads you to a pretty shocking conclusion, at least for most investors. You can forget everything you've ever heard about diversification. Buffett doesn't spread his money around. He believes in focus investing, putting huge amounts of money into just a few companies that he understands inside and out. Check this out. Back in the 60s, American Express got hit with this huge scandal. The market panicked, everybody was selling, just running for the exits. But Buffett, he did his homework, he realized the company's moat was totally fine, and he went all in. And, well, you know how that story ends.
Okay, so we've covered the analysis, the numbers, the businesses, but that's really only half the battle. For Buffett, the real secret, the true X factor, is mastering the one thing that gets almost every other investor in trouble: their own emotions.
Forget about market crashes, forget about recessions. According to Buffett, the single biggest risk to your financial future is the person staring back at you in the mirror every morning.
To explain this, Buffett uses this brilliant little story he got from Ben Graham. He wants you to imagine you have a business partner. His name is Mr. Market. And, well, let's just say he's a little emotionally unstable.
Some days, Mr. Market is just euphoric. He's on top of the world. He shows up, he's convinced your business is the best thing since sliced bread, and he's offering to buy your shares from you for some ridiculously high price.
But then, on other days, oh boy, he shows up and he is an absolute wreck. He's panicked, he thinks the world is ending, and he's basically on his knees, begging you to take his shares off his hands for pennies on the dollar.
And here's the whole point of the story. You do not have to listen to him. His mood swings are there for you to exploit, not to follow. You use his panic to buy great companies when they're on sale, and you can use his euphoria to sell if things get crazy expensive. He is there to serve you.
So what's the big takeaway from all this? Well, when you combine those 3 analytical pillars with the right temperament, the kind of cool head that can ignore Mr. Market's daily drama, that's when you unlock the real secret to Buffett's incredible success.
This right here, this is the whole game. It's a complete shift in how you see things. You have to stop thinking of stocks as just these little blinking tickers on a screen. You have to start thinking of them as what they actually are: ownership stakes in a real business.
So the final question is the same one that Warren Buffett asks himself every single day. Look around. What wonderful business, a business that you actually understand, is Mr. Market totally mispricing today?